So I've dug it out and it's nasty. Needs a deep clean. But fingers crossed it will actually function. It has been a few years. So not a huge amount to do. I'm trying to connect up the keyboard extender because I've decided I'm just going to adapt the original cable rather than make a new one, even though I do have the right connectors. I built that years ago. I really don't know how that works anymore. It scares me. That's got all of the volts, all of the currents, and all of the fire. Because remember, kids, lead acids. Fun fact, when I started making this, I didn't need reading glasses, but now I do because I can't quite see. But I'm getting there. This old SX64 is full of old horror stories. The state of this. Barely soldered. It's printed and it's already come unstuck. Will the blend work okay? Well, it fits. There we are. Okay, let's check out the latest. Oh, it's got cold. Comes unstuck nicely. I don't need to brim, by the way, but I'm doing it because it's a good way of getting the filament to flow. So yeah, this has got a bit overcomplicated now. And I think I might be deleting some of these bits off the back because it's not working out for me. But yeah, very difficult to get a picture of this. Got snap-offs to do. Yeah, one-handed. That's supposed to come off. And that bit. That little post. Clever, huh? Yeah, they're the only bits of support on it apart from the... This is the best camera work ever. Get what you pay for. Yeah, so that tears off reasonably well, look. But yeah, it's supposed to be dark grey. Not dark grey. Actually, no, what am I talking about? The dark grey was translucent, so this is just actually black. Anyway, enough about this. It's going to look terrible on video, because that's the nature of the beast, I'm afraid. But that is the release candidate of the front, and in black, I don't know if it looks worse. In real life, obviously I've got the light on. It makes it, you know, shocking. But, yeah, I've got the pillar dimensions wrong. They needed to be thinner, but I got my guesstimate right for those. So yeah, that does effectively just plop in. But yeah, it's got overcomplicated on the back, and I might be changing my mind about how I'm doing this. Well, I definitely am, because the project isn't finished, but it's not finished just for these reasons. It's not finished for many reasons, but yeah, it does work, or at least it did the last time I powered it on. Might as well put it straight on eBay now, wouldn't I? Yeah, so it looks terrible on the camera. It doesn't look so great in real life. It's too shiny. The grey that I ordered was no good, so I've tried black. Yeah, that's not very good either. But this is a done thing now. You can't really see any detail because shiny is screwing it up. But I'm very pleased with that. That's exactly right now. And I'm also pleased with what I've done here, except for they should be about 2mm, not 3. Hence why it's not in properly, but my guesstimate on the back was right. So yeah, as I've kind of given up to try and get this finished like now, I will go back to ordering more bits to do a better job of it. That's the thing to do. These are supposed to be diffusers, and they're printed in a material I normally don't get on with, but I'm pleased with that. Different thicknesses. They're all the same, but they're different thicknesses because I don't know how much diffusing is going to be required, or even is possible. Not something that's ever going to show well on camera, but I am pleased with my diffusers. I've printed them in 0.5mm, 1mm and 2mm, I think. So I've got some to try. Buttons. We have another one. Oh, this is the Mark II. I think this is the first time I've done a Mark II. Mark II. It's looking good, yeah? Yellow buttons. I'm doing faster printing. It's the quality's not so good, but so far, well, it's got a long way to go. We've lost the support, but is that finished? No, it's not finished yet, but it's nearly finished. It's now like an upside down tray for reasons. But that's what we do. Oh, goodera. Any of you lot figured out what I'm doing yet? We have another one done. Ooh, my Heath Robinson. There we go, let's have a look. Are we warped? Are we cold? Oh, we're cold. Excellent. Corners are looking straight and straight. Yeah, that's good enough. Right. Excellent. Well, there's another thing that I've printed. These things go on forever. Filthy, dirty, filthy. Right, anyway, here's kind of a proper video. Let me put the light on. That might help. Doesn't. I think this is pretty well the layout we're going to get now. I've reduced buttons. I've put these in. I've had these for years, and I think I might have found a use for them. So we did have 3 of those, then 4, and now 2. And we have 2 of those. Yeah, so along with those slots, we have lots of hills. I thought I'd try that just to see if it would make the material print quicker. It didn't really. It made it rougher, but I am printing in as fast as I pretty well can go mode. And I put those in. I was quite pleased with those. Because I printed this with no support at all, don't you know? That's an embarrassment. Right. Oh, and light's not on. Might help. Light's now on. This might be it. So PCB fits. Doing it like this means I don't have to cut away that metal bit there for the old cartridge port, because I don't want to, cut things up for the hell of it. But yeah, I think that's basically that. That's the angle you're going to get. Obviously not in red, or peach as it's turned out. Spacing is wrong there. Got another printout coming for that. But yeah, I think we're there now, because everything appears to fit, and I think I can get the new button assembly in. Message ends. Making a thing, bang bang.
You've got to turn the radio beam off.
Got to, you know.
Yes.
Anyway,
That's how that.
got you. The problem is, if you do a project and then you go back to it many years later, everything you did is nonsense. Anyway, okay. Just for the record, there's banana. There's my notes. So, DC in, that's the charge port, that's the VIC power, that's the battery isolator, that's the disk drives, that's the monitor. Yes, and I'm croaky. I've been ill. I can't believe the mess in here. Honestly, I have totally forgotten why, how, and why, again, this even works. But yeah, I really... Trying to get your head around something that you did 5 years ago, possibly more, isn't easy. Right, I'll make a video. Right, I think I've figured it out. Now, when you turn this nonsense on, I say nonsense, I did this myself. When you turn this nonsense on, well, give it power, which is now there, was on a cable. When you give it power, what it does, it immediately powers everything up, which I'm going to change. But what it also does is take the batteries out of circuit, because the batteries require 14.5 volts to charge, but we're actually running from a nominal 12 volts in. Now, 5 years ago, I mean, I'm thinking about this now, I'd add more, I'd have it all very, very different, but yeah. So, when I started this years ago, I started off with a 12 volt, 4 amp power supply, used that as the input voltage and worked from there. I'm now wishing I had 2 5-volt supplies, but I've got one and it's capable. But yeah, already got about 5 new versions of this board in mind, but this does do what it's supposed to do. The moment you plug in power, it shuts off the battery circuit, which remember is on the 12 volt, like ring main as it were. Shuts that off, puts that onto the 14 volt circuit, so it charges that up independently, and then it runs the rest of the system off the 12 volts in. Does that make sense? I think it does. I'm still losing my voice. I am better now. Okay, more thoughts. What I'm thinking is, at the moment, when this powers up, 12 volt comes on, all of the stuff fires up, and the VIC's being ran, and so's the disk drive. Now, I want the disk drive separate. So, what I'm now thinking is, if I tap into where the 12 volts comes in, but on the correct side or the wrong side of the charge pickup circuit, so rather than it immediately enabling whatever the hell, I really can't remember how this works specifically, however the hell this is rigged up, but I will basically divert the 12 volts from there to the VIC switch, which is there, which is of course blue, and that will be the main power switch, but that will then also enable the regulators and the 12 volt line for these two fellas, which is going to be for the disk drive and the monitor. Because sometimes you'll want to suspend your machine and not have the monitor switched on, because you might have important documents. This project's been going on so long, we now have the PU2, so I've just grabbed an old PU deck board, brought it up to spec, but I'm going to have to take this board out, which, there's so much bodgy things on here that are going to break, but yeah, I'm going to have to take the main board out. Ugh. I'm so disappointed at how bad and bodgy this is, but it works. But will it work once I strip this out? Houston, I have a problem. Guess who forgot? He shortened the original PU board. It's all chopped off there. So effectively I'd have to chop off the memory chip and the Atmel. Bum. After a very quick brainstorming with Dave, I think I'm going to turn this PCB here into like an extension PCB, and it looks like I will barely have to shave the end off. So yeah, effectively I will put a ribbon cable on the end of there. I feel terrible for all of this, but it's going to have to happen, otherwise this is never ever ever going to get finished. I don't need to put a PU2 in there, except for obviously I do need to put a PU2 in here, because this is the most awesome VIC-20 in the world. Now you're going to have to excuse the old Nokia. This is a Microsoft 950 XL. Right, so that board's now going to probably come out, or at least if it doesn't come out, I've prepped the other way. I'm trying to do this one-handed. So what we've got here is what I've now got my new cartridge board that it turned out I needed because the penultimate plus 2 is bigger. It's got SX20 written on the back. So on one side will be the new power board, or the existing board. The existing board will also fit. And then down here, you basically have... Terrible video, sorry. We'll basically have this dropping into the existing gully, picking up on the secure point there, just going slightly longer down there, but I have space, and then that means the PCBs, both of them, will fit and be fully insulated. There won't be a problem with voltage jump, but you know, why not? Why not have something in there? And also the cartridge should be pull in and outable once this is locked in, because it does have tabs holding the 2 user port connectors that I joined together in, and then there have to be a horrible tail to get into that. Yuck, 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 yuck. There we go, I just bent that all back into place. So yeah, the existing board will work. I'm probably going to change that because I've got a new plan. Oh, this job will never get finished. I'm still surprised that even works. It works and it is safe, but blimey. Anyway, yeah. So apart from connecting up all the pins from the cartridge port to the cartridge port, I'm going to have to find some good ribbon for that. But I now actually do have something that's probably better, a removable cartridge, rather than having to strip out the entire donor Vic, which is yuck. PCIe riser cables, my bottom. I've tested it, it works. This is the new power and charge circuit with the PU, what do we call that, a daughter board thing or tail, the PU tail holding upside down because that shrink wrap is the wrong size. But yeah, I need to get that in here and get this out and do a lot more testing, because obviously I've used this off and on for years and it's been fine. Really not pleased with it, but it worked. Where this is new and has been tested for 30 seconds, but it's got a heatsink and everything. So, anyway, wish me luck. Do you know, I'm not sure any of that is actually like that. No, I suppose some of it is, but blimey. Scribbles. Less scribbly. So, in real life, when this is installed, when power comes in, what is supposed to happen? Oh, by the way, this is showing the input voltages. It's the handy thing with me changing these. So that's the output voltage, that's the charge circuit. Obviously you need more power to charge. These simply drop down to 5 volts independently from each other, and then that way I've got one switch that will eventually run the floppy drives 12 volts and 5 volts, and one then just for the VIC. But yeah, so the moment that, I can't show you now because there's no battery plugged in, but the moment you disconnect power, the relay trips, and then it will draw power from the battery, and when the relay is triggered, the battery is isolated so it can charge using the step up. But yeah, we'll have to put some load on this now to prove it's stable. Can't remember if I need 14.2 or 14.3 or whatever. I'll have to look into that as well. It's been a while. Yes, they're brighter than I thought they were going to be. I thought I'd tuned the resistors right. That's yellow, that's red. But yeah, and the handy thing is with these fellas I picked up, they remember their settings, so once they're installed I can actually just turn them off and they remain off. I'll probably leave them on because obviously the amount of power these things draw, the displays, compared to what's getting drawn, is nothing. It appears we have no flames, and we have buttons of goodness. That does that, you see. And the blue button of goodness. It's the bad colour, but it's the colour of choice. Orange. This excites me a lot. It has got quite spaghetti, but everything is pretty well insulated. Everything makes sense, at least into my mind. I wish I had a few more different coloured crimps. But yeah, there's no power drain on the other side. I'll put a dummy load on those before I do anything, because I'm not that stupid. Right, so we've got half an amp, which is basically what I wanted the batteries to charge up, which is cool. There's virtually no drain going on the low voltage side. But yeah, we have a load going there, that we have charge going on. The battery is coming up. And so far, no heat problems. I could do with more of these though. I can't find any more of my bulbs. These are handy dandy instant loads that you can see are working, rather than doing it with a resistor. Do it with a light bulb, much better. This hasn't been a whole lot of fun. I had to take this board out so I could put the new power board in with the PU board, etc. And of course it no longer functioned, but luckily it was just the leg on that bent over crystal that had come off from that awful bit of soldering. This is full of really terrible soldering, but we have it working with the PU+2.